When I saw that post, everything around me kind of blurred. It was just another Thursday morning, coffee half finished, work emails piling up, when I opened Instagram and froze. There it was, right in front of me. My twin sister Lily standing in front of a sunlit vineyard, that perfect golden hour glow wrapping around her like a filter. Her hand lifted just enough to show off a diamond ring, her smile picture perfect. The caption read, "Forever starts now," followed by a string of hearts and hashtags about soulmates and new beginnings. For a solid minute, I just stared, my thumb hovering over the screen, heart pounding like I'd just been caught in a lie I didn't tell. It wasn't the engagement that shocked me. It was finding out like a stranger. No call, no text, no heads up. Just a perfectly curated post for everyone to celebrate. Everyone except me. I kept scrolling through the comments, seeing old family friends and cousins cheering her on. Mom even commented, "So proud of you both," with 3 heart emojis. And there I was, sitting alone in Seattle, realizing my own family didn't think I deserved to know before the rest of the internet. So I did what any normal person would do. I texted her. "Congratulations. When's the engagement party? I'll fly down." Simple, direct, still trying to sound like the supportive brother I'd always been. And then I waited. Hours went by. My phone stayed silent. Eventually, late in the afternoon, her reply popped up. "Thanks. We're still planning it. I'll let you know." That was it. No excitement, no exclamation mark, no warmth. Just a polite, distant sentence. The kind you'd send a coworker you barely know. And in that one message, it all clicked. I wasn't being left out by accident anymore. I was being phased out on purpose. It's a strange kind of pain, not the loud, dramatic kind, but the quiet ache that settles in your chest when you realize the people who once knew every version of you now treat you like an optional extra. My twin, the person who used to finish my sentences, was building a future and didn't even think I needed to know about it. That's when it hit me. Maybe I wasn't really family anymore, at least not in the way that mattered to them. I was just the guy who moved away, sent money home every month, and stayed on the sidelines while they played happy family for social media. And honestly, I wasn't angry, just done. Because if they wanted to rewrite the story without me, I wasn't going to fight to stay in the picture. Something about her text just didn't sit right. That fake friendly tone, the one people use when they want you to stop asking questions, it was all over her words. Weeks went by after that. No follow-up, no details, just radio silence. Then one afternoon, my phone buzzed. It was my cousin Emma, the only one in the family who still talks to me like I'm a person, not some outsider. She wrote, "Hey, are you coming to Lily's engagement party tomorrow?" I just stared at my screen, confused. I thought she was joking. I typed back, "Wait, what party?" She sent me a photo. A printed invitation, gold lettering, fancy script, the venue name across the top. Engagement celebration, Lily and Tyler. Saturday, 7 p.m. I didn't even reply. Just sat there, staring at that picture like it was some kind of prank. The next day, my feed exploded. Photos, videos, reels. Lily in a white dress, Mom crying tears of joy, a slideshow of family memories projected across the wall. Tyler giving a speech about how family means everything. Yeah, everything except me. 80 people. Family, friends, old neighbors, everyone from Dallas. And not one of them thought it was strange I wasn't there, except Emma. She texted again later that night. "Everyone's asking why you didn't show. Mom said you couldn't make it." I typed back, "That's funny. I wasn't invited." A minute later, her reply came, "What? Are you serious?" Dead serious. By morning, word had spread. Relatives started messaging me things like, "Sorry you couldn't make it," or "We missed you." One uncle even called, genuinely confused. "You didn't fly down? Your mom said you were too busy with work." I just said flatly, "Yeah, that's what she tells people when she doesn't want me around." Then I hung up. That night, I finally called Mom. She answered, all chipper like nothing had happened. "Hey, sweetie. How's Seattle?" I didn't bother playing along. Why wasn't I invited to Lily's engagement party? There was a pause, the kind where you can practically hear someone blink. "What are you talking about?" "You know exactly what I'm talking about," I said. 80 people, a whole restaurant, balloons, speeches. You posted pictures, Mom." She gave this little fake laugh. "Oh, that? It was just a small dinner, nothing formal." "Small dinner? You rented a venue." Her tone shifted fast, like she realized I'd caught her lying. You're being dramatic, Josh. You live so far away, it didn't make sense to spend money on another plane ticket. You've already been home plenty. Plenty, I repeated. I was home for Ryan's graduation, Dad's surgery, and Christmas. That's plenty? You always make everything about you, she snapped. This was Lily's day. We didn't want any tension. I almost laughed. Tension? You mean the part where you decided I don't exist anymore? Don't talk to me like that, she said sharply. You have a good life up there. You're doing well. You don't need to be part of every little thing. You decided to leave. Yeah, I said quietly. Apparently, I just need to fund them. That one hit her, because about a month before that party, she'd called me crying about Dad's medical bills. Said the dialysis was getting expensive. I wired her a couple grand the same day. No questions asked. Turns out medical bills meant party decorations and catering. I found that out when Tyler's cousin posted a photo of Lily holding a microphone, thanking everyone for helping. Someone commented, "Big thanks to your brother for covering part of the costs." That was so nice of him. I just stared at the screen, not even angry, just empty. When I confronted Mom later, she said, "Don't twist things. It all goes to family expenses in the end." "Yeah," I said. "And somehow I'm the only one paying those expenses," she sighed, playing the victim. "You always have to turn something good into a fight. We did what we had to. You wouldn't understand unless you were here." "Oh, I understand perfectly," I said. "You used my money to throw a party I wasn't invited to, and now I'm the problem because I noticed." She gasped like I'd cursed at her, then hung up. I didn't call back. That night, it finally hit me. I wasn't family anymore, at least not to them. I was a resource. A wallet with feelings they didn't care to acknowledge. And the worst part? They didn't even think they'd done anything wrong. 2 days later, Lily texted. "Mom said you're upset. I hope you know it wasn't personal. It was just easier this way. Easier. That word stuck with me. Easier to cut me out. Easier to lie. Easier to pretend. So yeah, apparently I was invited to pay, not to attend. After that, something inside me just shut off. No big movie moment, no tears. Just silence. I stopped texting, stopped calling, muted the group chat. Birthdays came and went without my name in the chat, and for the first time, I didn't feel guilty. I was done. 2 weeks into that quiet, I started sleeping better. Seattle felt calmer. Work was smooth. I was deep into a big waterfront project that was finally getting local buzz. My boss told me clients loved my designs because they felt human, which was kind of ironic. Considering my own family treated me like a background character, then it happened. Saturday morning, I'd just gotten back from my run, halfway through making breakfast, when my phone started blowing up. "Mom." 3 missed calls, then a text. "Call me now." "It's Dad." Everything in me froze. I called immediately. She answered on the first ring, sobbing so hard I could barely make out the words. "Josh, oh my God, it's your father."
"It's bad."
He collapsed. "Ambulance, hospital. Please, come home." That's all she said before the line went quiet. "Which hospital?" I asked. Her words came out between gasps and sobs. "Methodist Dallas Medical." "I'll be there," I said without even thinking twice. I didn't pack much. Just grabbed a bag, booked the first flight I could find, and headed for the airport. No shower, no breakfast, and just adrenaline. The word stroke and collapsed kept replaying in my head like a broken record. My hands wouldn't stop shaking the entire flight. 4 hours later, I pulled up to my parents' house in a rental car. The porch light was glowing, soft and familiar. And there he was, my dad, sitting in his old recliner, Cowboys t-shirt, plate of nachos balanced on his lap, watching ESPN like it was any other night. I froze halfway up the walkway. "Dad?" He looked over casual as ever. "Hey, son." What a pleasant surprise. I blinked, trying to process what I was seeing. "You're... what?" "Are you okay?" He laughed, a small, easy chuckle. "Of course I'm okay. Why wouldn't I be?" Before I could answer, Mom came out of the front door, drying her hands on a dish towel like she'd just finished cleaning the kitchen. "Oh, thank God you're here," she said, sounding calm. Too calm. "Calm?" I asked. "You said Dad had a stroke." She waved her hand like I was being ridiculous. "Well, he had a little episode. He felt dizzy earlier this week, but he's fine now. Doctor said it was nothing serious. I just stared at her. You told me he collapsed and was in the hospital. She gave this soft, sugary smile that made my stomach twist. I might have exaggerated a little. I just needed you to come home. It's been months, Josh. You've been acting so distant. Exaggerated? I repeated slowly. You faked a medical emergency to get me here? Oh, don't be so dramatic, she sighed, her favorite phrase. It was the only way to get everyone together again. You never visit anymore. I glanced back at Dad. He looked guilty but stayed quiet, eyes glued to the TV, chewing nachos like this was above his pay grade. So you're both in on this? I said. Dad sighed, avoiding eye contact. Your mom just misses you, son. Misses me? I laughed, not out of humor, but disbelief. You people cut me out of a baby shower, an engagement party, and a wedding. But now I'm family again because there's guilt to pass around? Mom crossed her arms. We were just trying to fix things. You left. You're the one who pulled away. I didn't leave, I said. You pushed me out. Her tone sharpened instantly. Oh, don't start with the victim act. You've always been too sensitive. We do one thing wrong and you hold it forever. One thing? I said, my voice rising. You lied about Dad being in the hospital, Mom. That's not a mistake. That's emotional blackmail with a touch of insanity. Watch your tone, she snapped. I'm still your mother. And Dad's still fine, I shot back. Guess the stroke cured itself somewhere between the kitchen and the porch. Her face tightened. You don't have to be sarcastic about it. I just wanted to see you. But not enough to invite me to Lily's engagement, I said. That's different, right? For a long second, no one said a word. The only sound was the TV playing from the porch and a dog barking down the street. I wasn't even angry anymore, not the shouting kind at least. Just drained. Like every lie she told was proof she'd rather manipulate me than simply ask me to come home. She opened her mouth again, but I cut her off. Don't. I flew here because I thought Dad was dying. That's not something you spin into a teachable moment. You don't get to use panic as a family reunion strategy. You've changed, she said, shaking her head. Seattle made you cold. I laughed, tired and bitter. No, Mom, you made me cold. Seattle just gave me the space to thaw out. Her mouth fell open, but I didn't wait for her comeback. I grabbed my bag, walked to my car, and left. Halfway down the street, I glanced in the rearview mirror. Through the window, I could see her silhouette, already on the phone, probably telling everyone how I overreacted again. I didn't care. At the hotel that night, my phone buzzed. A text from Lily. Mom says you yelled at her. You really need to stop being so hard on her. She's doing her best. I didn't reply. Just blocked her number and turned off my phone. Lying there in the dark, it hit me. They were allergic to honesty. They'd rather stage a fake emergency than admit they'd hurt me. That night, I decided I was done. No more holidays, no more pretending. I wasn't their emotional punching bag anymore. Guess Dad made a miraculous recovery from that stroke he never had. I blocked Mom's number, muted Lily, and stopped replying to every "hope you're doing well" text that felt more like bait than care. I'd already started cutting back on the money. That part came easy. The autopay cancellations came later, after I found out what they'd really been doing with it. I wasn't mad anymore. I was just finished. But about 3 months later, just when I thought I was finally out, the universe dropped something in my mailbox that pulled me right back in. A thick, cream-colored envelope. The kind that screams money was wasted on this Lily's wedding invitation. Together with their families, Lily and Tyler invite you to celebrate their union. Together with their families. Yeah, right. Inside was the usual fancy nonsense. Venue, dress code, RSVP deadline. But then my eyes caught a small line at the bottom. Guests only. No additional attendees, their elegant way of saying, no +1. My girlfriend Julia and I had been together for over a year. She'd met my friends, my coworkers, everyone but my family. Apparently, she wasn't part of the picture. Meanwhile, half the cousins I barely remembered got to bring someone. I flipped the invite over, thinking maybe I missed something. Nope, just my name, alone. Like a last-minute obligation they couldn't cross off. It was clear. I wasn't invited because they wanted me there. I was invited so no one could say I wasn't. A prop invitation. Something to make the family look whole on paper. I stared at it for a long time, debating whether to throw it in the trash or use it as a coaster. But then that small poetic part of me, the one that likes closure wrapped in sarcasm, came up with an idea. If they wanted me to play a part, I'd give them a performance. I bought one of those sleek, black luxury gift boxes, gold trim, satin ribbon, magnetic lid, the kind that practically hums with self-importance. I filled it with tissue paper, and in the middle, I placed a single handwritten card. Congrats on finally achieving what Mom always wanted, a family without me in it. No signature. No return address, just that. I mailed it express to Lily's house. Venues don't usually sign for petty deliveries. 3 days later, the explosion started, missed calls. Dozens of them. Mom, Lily, Dad, even Ryan, my younger brother, who usually avoids drama like it's contagious. Then came the texts. A full family meltdown in real time. How could you be so cruel? Was this supposed to be funny? You embarrassed us. You went too far, man. I didn't answer a single one. Not because I didn't have words, but because I'd already said everything that needed saying in one sentence. By nightfall, the family group chat was on fire. My cousin Emma messaged me privately. I'm not gonna lie. It's chaos down here. Everyone's screaming about your card. Good, I texted back. Maybe they'll read something for once. Then silence. The kind that feels like peace. For a few days, the quiet was loud. Beautifully loud. I could finally breathe without bracing for guilt. Then, out of nowhere, an unfamiliar number lit up my phone. I almost ignored it, but curiosity won. Hey, Josh, it's Mark. Uncle Mark, my mom's older brother. The only person in that family who ever treated me like I was something more than a disappointment to fix. A straight shooter. No drama, no games. I heard about your little delivery, he said, trying not to laugh. Oh, so I'm the trending topic this week, I replied. He chuckled. You might have caused a small earthquake. Your mom's been spinning in circles trying to do damage control. Lily's crying, playing the victim. Good to know I still make an impact, I said. He paused for a moment. His tone softened. Look, kid, I'm not going to pretend I didn't laugh when I heard what you did. It was gutsy. But I called to tell you something. You're not wrong. I leaned back in my chair. That phrase, you're not wrong, wasn't something I ever expected to hear from my family. I mean it, he said. Your mom's always been like this. Controlling. Manipulative. She twists every story until she's the victim. You grew up thinking it was normal, Panas, but it's not. Coming from him, that hit different. Mark wasn't the emotional type. He was the kind of guy who fixed fences, not feelings. Hearing him say it out loud, that validation, it cracked something open inside me. For the first time in years, I didn't feel like the crazy one. Mark, I said quietly, you'll probably get dragged into this if you take my side. He didn't even hesitate. Let them drag me. I'm done watching her rewrite reality. And I'll tell you something else, and I think there's more to this. Financial stuff, family stuff. She's been hiding things, and I'm gonna find out how deep it goes. I didn't even know what to say.
You'd actually do that?
He let out a low laugh. Kid, your mom's been telling everyone you distanced yourself because you think you're better than them. I think it's time we showed her who's really been writing the script. I sat there in silence for a long moment, just letting it sink in. For once, someone wasn't treating me like I was overreacting. They saw it too. Thanks, Mark, I said. Don't thank me yet, he replied. I'm just getting started, before hanging up. He added one last line that stuck with me for days. You're not crazy. Josh, you've just been the only sane one in a house full of people pretending. That sentence played on repeat in my head for the next week. It was the first time in years anyone from my family said something that made me feel seen. A few days later, my phone buzzed again. A message from Mark. Check your email. You'll want to see this, no explanation. Just that. When I opened it, my heart started pounding. Attached were screenshots, messages from the family group chat I'd been conveniently left out of. The first one was from months. Before Lily's engagement party, the one I was never told about, Mom had written, Don't tell him the date. He'll book a flight. He always does. Then another message a few days later. He left us alone here in Dallas, so why should we include him? He made his choice. She said it like I'd moved across the country just to hurt her. There were dozens more, little jabs and digs that built up into a full-blown smear campaign. Mom. He'll find out and make it about himself anyway. He always does. Ryan, what do we tell people if he asks? Mom, say he's busy. That's always true enough. It was like watching my own family build a group project to erase me. Then came the recordings. Mark told me he'd quietly recorded one of their family dinners, one of those mandatory get-togethers Mom loved to host. I didn't ask why he did it. I just hit play, clinking dishes, background chatter. And then, her voice, my mom. Loud, confident, unbothered, he left us. Went chasing his little city dream. Doesn't care what happens here anymore. I'm done pretending he's part of this family. Then after a pause, a line that hit like a knife. He chose distance. So let him stay distant. The less he knows, the better. That part made my chest tighten. It wasn't just what she said, it was how she said it. The tone wasn't angry. It was satisfied. Like she'd already made peace with the idea that I was disposable. I just sat there staring at my laptop screen, watching years of doubt turn into confirmation. It wasn't rage this time. It was that quiet kind of heartbreak that feels like truth finally catching up to you. A few hours later, my phone buzzed. It was Mark. You saw it, huh? Yeah, I said. Every word, he exhaled slowly. Well, I'm not letting it slide. Everyone's coming over Sunday? She'll be there. I'm going to play the recording. Mark, you don't have to do that, I said. It'll just start a war. He gave a dry laugh. Kid, that war started the day she lied about you. I'm just showing everyone who fired the first shot. I didn't try to stop him. Maybe part of me wanted the truth to finally hit daylight. Sunday night, around 9 p.m., I got a text from Emma. Your uncle just dropped a bomb. She told me everything. The whole family had gathered. Mom, Dad, Lily, Ryan, a few cousins, pretending everything was normal. Then Mark stood up, set his phone on the table, and hit play. The room went still. No forks clinking. No fake laughter. Just the sound of her voice echoing through the speakers. The proof. He read out some of the group chat messages, too. The ones where they mocked me, made up excuses, planned how to keep me out. Then he looked straight at my mother and said, You turned this family against your own son. You made him out to be the problem when all he ever did was show up. Emma said Mom went red, shaking, stammering something about invasion of privacy. Mark didn't flinch. You had no right to manipulate everyone either. He deserved the truth. We all did. Ryan tried to jump in. You don't understand how hard it's been for Mom. But Mark cut him off. No, Ryan, I understand perfectly. She lies. You believe her. He takes the fall. That's been the pattern for years. That was it. Mom grabbed her purse and stormed out. Lily followed, dragging Ryan behind her. Dinner ended right there, and me? I just sat at home staring at the text, feeling something break loose inside me. Not anger this time, just finality. I was done. Not furious, not vengeful. Just done. That night, I opened my bank app and started cutting the cords one by one. The bills I'd been covering, the insurance, the temporary loan Lily never paid back. Gone. Then I sent one last text to Mom. You don't have to worry about me sending money anymore. You wanted to erase me? You got it, no reply. Just a message from Ryan a few hours later. You're making Mom cry. This is all so unnecessary. I didn't answer. Because for once it wasn't my problem anymore. I wasn't their wallet, their scapegoat, their emotional punching bag. I was free, even if freedom felt a little empty at first. Later that night, Mark texted me. You did the right thing. Sometimes cutting people off is the only way to make them realize they've already lost you. He was right. That night, I stopped trying to fix a family that never wanted to be fixed. A few days later, an email landed in my inbox from my dad's work account, not the one Mom controlled. The subject line read, Hey, I know I don't deserve a response, but I owe you an apology. I stared at it for a while before replying, Okay. That night we got on a video call. I expected excuses, the same old routine. But when the camera came on, he looked human, tired. Shoulders slumped, voice cracking. Hey, kiddo. Hey, Dad. We sat there in silence until he finally said it. I've been a coward. He didn't dress it up. I let your mother run everything. I thought staying quiet meant keeping the family together. But I didn't keep anything together. I just let her destroy it piece by piece. I didn't say a word. I just listened, he went on, voice shaking. She lied to you, twisted things about you. I let it happen because it was easier than fighting her. That's on me. Then he hesitated. You remember when she told you she was sick? The emergency? I nodded. You sat on the porch watching TV while I was flying in, thinking she was dying. He closed his eyes. I know, I'm sorry. I didn't even realize what she'd told you until later. She used the money I sent for your dialysis trip to throw a party. I didn't know. God, Josh. I failed you. I stayed calm. You didn't just fail me. You helped her erase me. He looked down, eyes glassy. I can't undo that. But I can stop enabling her. I'm leaving. I froze. You're serious? He nodded. Already packed. Told her I need space. I'm staying with Mark for now, but if you'll have me, I'd like to see you. It was the first time he'd ever asked instead of told. Come to Seattle, I said. We'll figure it out. A week later, he showed up at my door with one suitcase. No big reunion, no dramatic music. Just, hey, thought maybe your sink could use fixing. Turns out he was right. He stayed for days, quietly fixing things around the apartment. A squeaky hinge, a loose outlet, the wobbly table I'd stopped noticing. He never brought up Mom. He just worked, like every small repair was a silent apology. That first night, we ate takeout on the couch. He looked at me and said, I thought keeping your mom happy made me a good husband. Turns out it just made me a lousy father. I didn't answer. He already knew. The next morning, we went to the hardware store together. He spent nearly an hour debating which drill was the reliable kind. For once, it felt normal. Something we'd never really had before. By the third day, he started opening up, stories I'd never heard. His first job, his old sketches, how he used to draw house plans on napkins before he met Mom. He said he finally understood why I loved architecture. And for the first time in my life, I saw who he really was. Not Mom's shadow, not her echo, just my dad. Then, out of nowhere, Ryan texted. I didn't realize Dad actually left. I'm sorry, man. I didn't get it before. Before, I thought Dad was just exaggerating, until I read her message. It wasn't long, but it hit hard. I texted him, thanks. Then Lily's message popped up. You split up, Mom and Dad. Hope you're happy. I stared at it for a second and just wrote back. They split themselves. No anger, no performance, just truth. She left me on read that night. Dad got an email from Mom. He read it aloud like he was reading some old script she'd rehearsed 1,000 times. If you felt hurt, that's on you for misinterpreting my intentions. I only ever did what's best for this family. You've let outsiders poison you. I laughed under my breath. She really wrote that? He nodded. Same tone, same excuses. I said, she's allergic to accountability. He smiled a little. Guess I finally built up immunity. We didn't fix the past that night, but we started fixing what mattered. And for the first time in years, I didn't feel like the kid left out of everything. I just felt like a man standing beside his dad, finally on the same page. Life in Seattle found its rhythm again. Peaceful, quiet. Until one Thursday afternoon, the buzzer rang. On the screen, I saw Lily, a suitcase in hand. No warning, no text. Just there. When I opened the door, she gave this small, awkward smile. Hey, I said slowly. You're about 2,000 miles early for Christmas. She let out a shaky laugh, then her eyes filled. Can I come in? We sat down. Silence stretched between us until she finally whispered, I didn't tell Mom I was coming. She'd lose it. I raised an eyebrow. Then why are you here? She looked up, her voice breaking. Because I need to say sorry. For all of it. She confessed everything. How Mom told her not to invite me to the engagement party, the wedding, even the baby shower. How she believed every lie. I leaned back, quiet, just letting her speak. When she said she thought I didn't care anymore, I asked softly, and you didn't think maybe I should decide that myself? She nodded, tears slipping down her cheeks. I was stupid. I just wanted to keep the peace. She made it sound like you were the one who left us. I wasn't angry. Just tired of everyone pretending they didn't know better. You knew she twisted things, I said. You saw it. She nodded again, trembling. I know, I let her. It was easier. That's the problem, I said. Everyone did. Everyone made me the villain just to keep her happy. Lily wiped her face. You're right. And I'm done letting her control everything. I came to tell you that you don't have to forgive me. I just need to own it. I nodded slowly. That's all I wanted. Accountability. That night, after she left, my phone lit up again. Emma had sent screenshots from the family chat, chaos everywhere. Lily had just dropped a truth bomb. Mom lied about a lot. She told us to leave Josh out of everything. I went to see him. I was wrong. Mom fired back instantly. Stop embarrassing this family. You're being manipulated. And then Lily? Bless her. No, Mom. I'm finally not being manipulated. Then Mark jumped in, siding with her. Mom's last message read like a curtain call. I don't need to justify myself to ungrateful people. Enjoy your little therapy session. I'm done. And she left the chat. Later, Lily texted me privately. She blocked me, but it's okay. I feel lighter. I smiled at the screen. Good, welcome to freedom. But Mom wasn't done. Soon the emails came. The first one sounded almost civil. I can't believe you've turned everyone against me. You're breaking this family apart. The second, venomous. You'll regret humiliating your own mother. And the last, just 3 words. You've changed. I typed back carefully, every word deliberate. I didn't leave this family, Mom. You pushed me out because I grew up. Enjoy the silence you created. I hit send, closed the laptop, and exhaled. No second guessing. No regret. Dad read it later and just nodded. She'll never admit it, you know. I know, I said. But that's not my problem anymore. Weeks passed. Life didn't suddenly turn perfect, and it just became mine again. Dad moved into a small place nearby. Mark came over with steaks and non-alcoholic beer, toasting to truth finally winning. As for Mom, she stayed in Dallas, tried to start a new family group chat, and no one joined. Turns out it's hard to control people once they stop needing your approval. One night, I stood on my balcony looking out over the Seattle skyline. The city hummed quietly below, but inside me there was peace. Real peace. The kind that doesn't feel temporary. I didn't miss the noise, the guilt trips, or the fake apologies. I didn't even miss being included. What I had now was better. Silence, the good kind. The earned kind. And I planned to enjoy it just like I told her. The silence she created.